Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome to a year-end retrospective. I thought it'd be fun to look back at all the games that I played this year, and so this is just going to be a talky episode, but of course I need some kind of backdrop on which to be talking against, and one of the things I realized I said in my Terraria series was that I was going to make some kind of art gallery for all the unique paintings that I found during the game, and I never did that. And so it's been like a month since I played Terraria. I'm recording this in December, and I finished that game back in November. But I went ahead and just built a wall out here so that I could place all the paintings. There were actually, I thought it was going to need, like, I made a gigantic wall because I thought I was going to need a lot of space. And some of the paintings are very small, and so I didn't need nearly as much space as I made to hang all the paintings. But here they are, and so you can admire them while I talk. But yeah, I just wanted to look back at the video series that we did and have some comments about them. So around the turn of the year, Deep Rune was a game that we played through with a couple different character classes. That was a lot of fun. Hero Spirit turned out to be an amazing game with tons of secrets and kind of deep, crazy lore. That was much more than I bargained for, and I really, really enjoyed that game. And they've been working on some updates for that game, and I hope eventually I see some more people playing it, because that was a really fun game. I played Baba Is You's New Adventures. It was fun to have some more new puzzles and new words and predicates and different things in Baba Is You to try things out, and I definitely enjoyed it when I did it. But it feels kind of forgettable. Like, I was thinking back to it, and yeah, it was fun to play more, but it didn't kind of stand out in my mind. Puddle Knights was a fun game, puzzle game that I played, where you walked around and you had capes that you could stand on to try to get the noble people to the exit. And that was a very solid puzzle game experience. I had nothing to criticize. I did enjoy it. But it also didn't have anything that was super, like, stand out in my brain thinking back on that game. Sokocat Dungeon was kind of a sequel to another Sokocat game that I had played before. That was a little bit underwhelming, but I got to play as a cute kitty, so that's always nice. Knit Underground was a really fun game to play because I just love exploration, and it had a giant map and gave me an opportunity to write some software, some mapping software that I enjoyed doing as well. Tons and tons of secrets and exploration made that game pretty fun. The lore was a little bit weird at times, but I definitely enjoyed that game. And there's a game somewhat vaguely similar to it that I'll recommend. Some people might want to check out at the end of this. Rogue Legacy 2. Amazing. I really thought that Rogue Legacy 1 was going to be a one-hit wonder kind of game from Cellar Games. And so I didn't have high hopes for Rogue Legacy 2, which had been in, what is it in Steam when you can get the game before it's released, like a pre-release kind of state for a long time. But I'm glad I waited till the release, because I'm sure they kind of ironed out a bunch of bugs and made the game better. But wow, that game really delivered. I really enjoyed playing through it. For those who watch me on Twitch, I did a couple other Rogue Legacy kind of little challenge series where I was trying to do different things under different constraints. And it turns out on the very day, I think that the last episode of my Rogue Legacy 2 series aired, back a couple months ago or whenever it was, they put out a big content update patch. And so in the new year, I will be returning to Rogue Legacy 2. To check out that new content, just starting off a new save file again, because it's just a ton of fun. Terraria is the #1 game in terms of number of hours played that I have on Steam, but Rogue Legacy 2 has already moved up into the #2 slot. I've got like 270 hours of it or something at this point. Great game. I enjoyed that a ton. Dungeons and Puzzles is one that is currently going on, I think, when this airs, but it'll probably be finishing up soon. Ended up being a very solid Sokoban-esque style game. It was relatively cheap on Steam and looked like it was something that was going to be fun to me, and I got basically exactly what I expected out of it. And so that was a cool little game. It would have been nice if it had a little bit more variety in, like, music and styling, or had some lore, but overall I enjoyed that one. And then finally this game, Terraria, the Labor of Love update. It's always fun to come back and play some more Terraria. And I did enjoy going through the game once again to explore the new updates. I love the quality of life, like inventory improvements that they did, as well as the shimmer ended up being a new, very interesting mechanic, and just a number of other changes that were mostly pretty good. And apologies if I kind of ended the Terraria series a little bit abruptly. At the time that I was recording the last 2 episodes, I ended up getting seriously ill. With like some food poisoning, and I really was not feeling well, and so I was recording it in kind of like sporadic bursts the last couple of episodes when I was feeling well enough to do some recording. But I feel like the series kind of ended abruptly, and yeah, one of the things that I said I was going to do was make this painting art gallery or whatever, and I forgot to do it at the end of the series, so I thought I would show it off here. There's definitely a number of new paintings that are colorful and cool looking. But for the most part, I don't know. I'm not super interested in the paintings and decorating in this game, but it is cool to see how much variety there is. And these are just the ones that I obtained. I expect there's probably like twice as many unique paintings in this game because there's like an infinite amount of items in this game. That's just how it goes. But in any case, in terms of retrospective, that is the games that I played. I'm going to put just a link in the description of this video to overall my playlists. You can look back through history through like all of the past, I don't know, 10 years that I've been making YouTube videos, or even more than that, however long it's been. If you want to look for some nostalgia or binge watch some old things or come back to them, because that's sometimes fun. I tend to do that with people that I watch on YouTube that I like. But in addition to talking about the things that I played, I also wanted to briefly talk about some other things that I did or watched. Last year, I talked about that I had made a Zelda 1 randomizer tracker. For those who follow me on Twitch, you've seen me play a bit of Zelda 1 randomizer and seen the tracker continue to evolve. I continued to work on it for a few months this year. And I don't know that I made any more YouTube videos about it, but it really developed into a very full-fledged tool that I'm proud of and spent a lot of hours on. And yeah, not that there's only, I don't know, like 100 people who play Zelda 1 randomizer. And maybe just 2/3 of them use some kind of tracker. But I think I captured like half the market or whatever. People were using other trackers, and now I think the majority of people use Z-Tracker, the tracker that I made. So that's pretty cool. And at some point in the future, I might do some more Zelda 1 randomizer either here on YouTube or just talk about the tracker at some point in the future. If the spirit moves me, but it never moved me in the second half of this year. A couple other games that I have watched other people play. No Anglerfish is a game I watched Alex Diener play. It is available for like $1 on Steam, and it's mostly made by one kid, and his father like helped him publish it. And so it's just like a little indie kind of retro style Sokoban puzzle, explore the world and find secrets adventure game that it looks like kind of nothing at the beginning and then ends up having like crazy deep lore and secrets and crazy puzzles. And so it reminds me kind of a little bit of a combination of Hero's Spirit in terms of the unexpected depth, Knit Underground in terms of just exploring the world, and Dungeons and Puzzles in terms of being a Sokoban-style puzzle game. You walk around the world and you find lots of different machines that have puzzles and explore a few different mechanics pushing blocks around. And so if you are interested in any of that type of stuff, I highly recommend checking out No Anglerfish. I'll probably put a link in the description. And finally, Tunic is a game that I've watched a few people play. I'm glad I didn't play it myself. It seems like the type of game that I would really enjoy, and did have a number of things going for it in terms of weird puzzles and lore and a fun to explore Metroidvania. But it also had like a weird difficulty curve and combat that didn't seem very fun to people, and some really esoteric kind of stuff with some of the puzzles. And so it would have been very up and down. I tend to judge games more based on what their worst aspect is rather than what their best aspects are. And so while its best aspects were very good, some of its worst aspects I think were very bad, and I think I would have found the game frustrating. So that's a game that I watched other people play. I'm glad I didn't play it. But if you enjoy kind of Legend of Zelda style, explore, fight, find secrets style game in kind of the modern era or whatever, that's another game that people might be interested in checking out. And those are all the things that I had on my list that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, that's a fun year-end retrospective. By all means, check out old playlists I have or other recommendations that I'm making here. I hope, as always, that you guys had a great day and a great year. And I've already recorded one and a good portion of another series of games that will be airing in the new year. So look forward to more things to come. But for now, I'm going to say I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.